Dan Card here from the Card Toner Group with Royal LePage West Real Estate Services. Want to welcome you all to week one of Cards Corner. This is my weekly vlog spot where I'm going to be talking about everything real estate. Going to be dropping some real estate knowledge bombs on you, and every now and then we're going to have a special guest come in that I'll sit down with. They'll tell us about their area of expertise, what they do, and we'll interview some local business owners in the Tri-Cities and find out a little bit more about their business. So for this week one, what I want to talk about is our market stats heading into 2020, what the outlook I think is for 2020, how January panned out, and talk about assessed value versus market value and what that means, because I still think there's a lot of confusion out there. People really think that their assessed value actually means something, which it doesn't, and we'll get into that a little bit later here. But starting off, I want to talk about our February 2020 market update, what our stats look like in January. So if you take a look here, we had 1,571 sales, which represented a 42.4% increase over January of 2019. That is huge. As most of you know, 2019 in general, at least for the first half, it was not a very good year in real estate. So to see an almost 50% increase in sales it's enormous. It's huge. It means the market is really starting to come back, and we can see that with the rest of what we have here. We're still 7.3% below the 10-year average for the number of sales, but the reason for that is that we're about 14% below the number of listings that we would expect to see at this time of year. So we're actually doing pretty well comparatively. Now, if we look at the sales to active ratio, which is the total number of sales compared with the total supply of homes on the market, we're running about 18% across all of our different types of housing. That is indicative of a balanced market, but if we really break it down here, we can see that our detached homes are about 11.6%, which is right on the cusp of being a balanced market. But where we really get into it is with townhomes and condos, which are both over 20%, which shows us that we're really in a seller's market in condos and townhouses. So if you're thinking about downsizing, it's not a terrible time. And if you're upsizing, it's really a great time to do that, because if you're going from a condo or a townhouse into a house, the stats really show that prices are starting to come up on condos, and prices have really stabilized on houses and townhouses. So if we move forward here, we can continue. We've got our prices, which are down from January 1st of 2019, but really started to recover in the second half of last year to the point where they're almost flat from where they were a year ago. You can also see that we can expect increased buyer demand compared with the limited supply, because there is so little on the market right now and people are really out there. We're starting to see multiple offers again. We're starting to see properties selling over the asking price. So it's really a good time to get into the market if you've been sitting on the fence for a while. This is what I really want to talk about, was the assessed value versus market value of homes. So what is an assessed value? Well, the assessed value is just a dollar figure that's assigned to you by the applicable tax authority. It's assigned as of July 1st the previous year, so in this case July 1st 2019, and it's honestly not an indicator of what your home's value really is in today's market. What we as realtors look at is we look at the market value of your home, and that's what a reasonable individual would be willing to pay for your home under normal circumstances. So what we look at is we look at supply and demand, we look at what's out there, we look at what's sold, and that's really how we generate the prices on what we use based on the condition of your home and a bunch of other factors. So you really can't take assessed values to heart. They're pretty useless, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about why. So before we jump into that, got some POCO stats here for what our market looked like. You can see both attached and detached homes, they're both selling. Anything under $1 million in POCO for a house, it's going. So if you got a house you want to sell, it's a good time. If you got a condo or a townhouse, they're turning over really anything under $800,000. And condos and houses, we've seen price increases in POCO on both of up to 5% since the low point of the market in August. So the market really is starting to recover in the Tri-Cities. So jumping back to assessed versus market value, I just broke down Port Coquitlam because it's an area that we do a lot of work in. It's an area of focus for me, and I really wanted to look at the microcosm there of the assessed value versus the actual sale value of homes in the area. So if we take a look here, you can see that for both detached and attached homes, the majority sold for over the assessed value. In the case of detached homes, all but 2 of 13 homes sold above the assessed value. One sold at the assessed value, one sold below. It was a little bit different in the attached sector, but when we actually look at this, and I broke this down, it's mostly one bedroom places that are selling under the assessed value, which I thought was kind of funny. And basically anything that was over 400 was selling over the assessed value. You can see the average for an attached home was 14 over the assessment. The average for a detached home was 97 over assessment, which really just shows you how useless assessed values are when it comes to applying them to the actual value of your home. So if you're valuing your home, please don't rely on the assessed value. If you're placing an offer on a property, don't pay attention to the assessed value. It means next to nothing. So, overall market impressions as we move forward into the rest of this year. There's a lack of inventory out there. If you are thinking about selling, it's really a great time to do that right now. If you're looking to move up, you're looking to move down, there's opportunities for both. We're at nearly a 20% active to listings to actives ratio. On listings to sale ratio, you can tell that I'm doing this all in one take out there. So it really is a good time because it's balanced and it's great. It's a great time to look at buying or selling. If you're looking for an investment, I really think now is the time. Oh, hey, I closed it, but that's okay. We'll finish up here. If you've been on the fence about buying, now's really the time to get off the fence. And don't pay any attention to assessed values. Talk to your realtor. Talk to me. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you figure out this market and figure out the value of your home, or if you're looking to buy a place, to help you figure out what you should be offering on it, especially if you're getting into multiple offer situations. Any agent who's been in the business for 5 years is pretty adept at handling multiple offer situations. We saw what 2015, 2016, 2017 were like, and we were really forged in that fire, and it looks like we're heading back into that again. So give me a call. I'm here to help. 604-785-3340. Dan Card, out.